extremely disappointed about the outcome of the Akron game. I thought a reality check hit our team in regards to exactly where we're at. I thought the urgency in today's practice was excellent. I thought the meetings were excellent. And just like I said, I believe it was last year, once we learn the process of winning and do things 365 years or 365 days a year the right way, on, off the field, all the little details that it takes to win, we'll start winning games. And we need to master that process. When you cheat the process of winning, you get what you deserve, and that's where we're at right now. And we've got a young team that we need to this winter do a great job of teaching them that process and getting those guys to buy into the process and master that process to give us a chance to start having some success. But we were a team in last year that had no recollection of the process to a team that does the process when it's convenient. And we need to, that's my responsibility. It can't be convenient. It needs to be an all the time thing. And I think this weekend really opened our eyes to a lot of things. And I think the urgency and where we're at, the realistic spot of where we're at has really sunk into a lot of people, and including myself. So we will get there. It's going to be a fun road, difficult road, but a fun road to be a part of. So we'll look back whenever this thing is right, and we'll go, those first 2 years were really difficult. And sometimes you got to go through hell to get to where you want to go.
Scott, after the Akron game, did that spur something that you expect will be like soul searching here for the next 6 to 8 weeks for the guys in this program?
It was interesting, at the end of the game, whenever we were in the locker room, there was an emotion to try to hold each other accountable. There were some guys that said some things and lost their cool at times. And, the message to those guys was, you don't do that after a football game. You do that in January 15th, whenever you're in the weight room and a guy's not doing the right thing, or you do that when a guy's not going through the line. You do that whenever you're in practice and and a guy's not going full speed with a relentless effort. So, we're learning everything right now. Accountability in a locker room after the game, that's not the time. The time is during conditioning. The time is during team activities. The time is during practice that you hold people accountable. So, we're learning everything right now. We're learning, how to lead. We're learning when to lead. There's a lot to be learned right now. And we got a long way to go in terms of getting the process completely the way it needs to be to give ourselves an opportunity to win.
Scott, from those sobering moments of the game to the post game that you just talked about, how do you keep the guys from getting down and beating themselves up? Because you have to learn and you have to grow from this, and you can't hang your head.
No, and I said that to him. Yesterday I was personally, as an adult, in a complete funk, and I could imagine being 18 to 22 years old, and I went home early last night, which is very rare, and got some sleep and walked in with energy and juice. And, you're not going to change things by being in a funk. You're not going to, you need to, I just had a conversation with Matt McDonald. You're not changing the past. The past is the past. It's all about the future, and it's all about your mindset. It's about your attitude. It's how you attack things on a daily basis. And, everything begins with attitude. And so we came with some energy today, but it's also reality, a lot of reality too. We're going to say the truth. I think you've known me, Christy, long enough now. I say in my interviews exactly how it is, who we are, where we're going to be. And I don't try to sugarcoat anything. So there is a reality check, but the only way that you're going to ever change things is by attacking them with a great attitude, enthusiasm, and all that other stuff. But Saturday was a very humbling, and it also we're going to look back, just like I said, and I said it from the very beginning. To sit here and say, Christy, that I thought we were going to knock the doors down and be 3-3 or win or have a winning season this year, this is kind of expected a little bit. And but really on Saturday was a wake up call, because to just sit here and go, talent wise, was there any difference on that field? There wasn't. And whenever you're losing games with equal talent, we're obviously miswired the wrong way. And understanding how you win and the process of how you win daily, those habits will translate and trickle into the game. And that's what I've always said about being ready to, we're going to win when we deserve to win, and we're going to be ready to win once we've done things, so well that there's so much trust that you understand that the guy next to you is going to do your job. And, we got to build that, and that's what we're going to do.
So on that note, what are the small goals for this last game? Because it's the last game and a lot of these seniors will be moving on. So what are the small goals?
The goals weren't even about the game today. We were trying to win Monday today. We had 5 goals that we wanted to attack. The number one thing is we didn't want to miss a meal today. Zero guys are going to miss a meal today. The second was we had a weightlifting session, and I talked about leadership. If we want to hold people accountable, let's go hold them accountable in the weight room today. And then our third goal was to be professional in the meetings, to totally lock in every notebook, writing every single thing down that the coach said. Then our fourth goal was to make sure that during our special teams periods today, which we were only out on the field 50 minutes, our fourth goal was to practice full speed in our special teams period and in our Skelly period, because it was, today's very light day. And then our fifth goal was to attack our finals. So we're going to try to teach these kids to win the day. It's not right now about the overall big picture of things. It's a daily 1, 2, 3 of how to do things, and holding people accountable of doing the right things all the time, so these habits trickle into the games. Because the fact of the matter is, whenever we, particularly on offense, I know we've got tackling issues and youth on defense. On offense, when you truly sit and evaluate the tape, there's only one team that's stopped Bowling Green, and it's Bowling Green completely. You sit here and you go, okay, that was some spectacular scheme or some spectacular defense or some spectacular player. It's not the case. Bowling Green is stopping Bowling Green. Whenever you have a 15-play drive and don't score, I mean, come on now, we're stopping ourselves. So, the discipline, which is my responsibility, which I talked about, we're not disciplined right now. And we need to become disciplined. And the only way that you become disciplined is your daily habits in every single thing you do. That's what good football players and good football teams do.
I know that the juniors and seniors are the ones that, most people look to for leadership. Are there any young guys, maybe any freshmen or sophomores, that in your mind have shined in the leadership role, or you think, man, next year they could really be big leaders as young guys?
Yeah, there's no question about that. That's why we've recruited the schools that we've recruited. If you look at our recruiting list and look at it, even though the 21s that are going to be coming in, we've targeted not only good players and good kids, but good programs. When you come from a good program and you know how to win, when you come from St. Ed, St. X, St. Ignatius, Mount Carmel's of the world, I know I'm missing a ton. There's a lot of Coleraine. I mean, there's a lot of really Toledo, St. John's, my goodness gracious, you keep going on and on. Central Catholic. Whenever you got kids coming from those type of programs, they generally understand, what it takes to win. And that's part of our formula right now, is bringing in like-minded people.
Scott, right now, throwing the ball, your efficiency statistics are at the bottom of FBS. Is that something that you take personally, given your history?
Oh, of course so. And that's probably the biggest frustrating thing known to man is, just like I said, Nick, if it was a great defense, a great scheme, a great this, a great that, you would be going, we got scheme work to do and all that other stuff. We're stopping ourselves. Whenever it's the line does a great job with protection, the quarterback makes the wrong decision. Whenever the quarterback makes the right decision, the receiver's at the wrong depth. So, and again, that's inconsistency and discipline. And those things will clean up. And if we made just half the plays that were available this year, we'd be much, much happier than we are right now. Just half of them. I mean, just make half of them, and we'll get that cleaned up. That will occur with time.
One of the many weird things this year is that this is always senior day, but this year is senior day kind of, because everyone has another year. How do you expect the roster to turn over, if at all? How many of these guys do you expect back at Bowling Green?
I don't know. We're going to assess and evaluate everyone on our team and make those decisions. So, but yes, to answer your questions, a lot of guys will be returning. There'll be other guys that are decide to move on and all that. But yes, it is a very weird. It's 220. 220 is wild. So, I mean, I've never seen a senior day with they're all coming back. So it's interesting.
Then with Matt, he was obviously in some pain, particularly after that scramble on Saturday. Do you expect him to be able to practice at all this week, and do you expect to have him come Saturday?
I don't expect him to practice at all this week. He's got a little lesser, extremely lesser than what Chad Henne had my last year at Michigan. Normally, they can't practice all the way up through the week. And then on Saturday they can. So I don't expect to see him at practice this week. And to be quite honest with you, there's a lot of guys that are banged up on our team right now, a bunch, and they're in position where they're not hurt. They're not. They're banged up. They're bumped and bruised and all that other stuff. And this is an opportunity to teach people how to play. Through bumps and bruises, obviously not injuries. We'll never put a kid on the field that, obviously with their safety and well-being in jeopardy. We're never doing that. But football teams need to learn how to play through bumps and bruises, and this is an opportunity for Matt, and along with quite a few other guys, to learn how to play whenever it's they're bumped and bruised. So. All these great quarterbacks in their day have had to go through that and learn that. And, it's like why Brady was able to play a Super Bowl with damn well a broken foot. I mean, you learn how to play through injury.
With Miami this year, they've had so many games canceled because of, presumptive positive COVID-19 tests, stuff like that. Does this the fact that they've only played 3 and you guys are heading into your 6th, does it kind of emphasize just how precious each game is and getting to take the field each week?
No question about that. As painful as this has been, as gross at time of play of we've had, there's been some shining moments where you were able to show these guys, okay, listen, you can do it. Now we need to become disciplined and do it on a consistent basis. That's what we're not right now. We're not consistent. We're not disciplined. And anytime that you get an opportunity to go out there and do this, it's great. I've said it from the beginning. And, obviously at the beginning of the year, I didn't say that we would struggle and all that, but deep down you knew that was the case. That was going to happen. But these 6 games are giving us the opportunity to give us a wake-up call of exactly where we're at, exactly where we need to go. But it also showed light of, when we do things the right way, we look pretty good doing it. It's the consistency, the discipline. So any opportunity, I mean, I want to play as many games as we can right now. Obviously, we've got only one more left, but I'm thankful that we didn't have a COVID experience, because our guys need every ounce of learning known to man, and the only way that you get better and also you have a wake-up call is through playing. So just like I said, when this thing is right, when we're ready to win, we're going to look back and go, that 20-year, that 220, as gross as it was and as hard as it was, is going to be extremely beneficial to our program.